Hey Peter, where have you been last these several months? Haven't seen you in a while.
Um, Europe?
I don't think so. You're in Košice.
What do you mean I'm not in Košice? Next thing you're gonna tell me is your name's not Roy.
Yeah, my name is not Roy. Who told you my name is
Ah,
Roy? My name
whatever.
is Stanton.
Okay, so
Just go and check around. Just go and check around. You're not in Košice, bro.
you know
Where
what?
are you?
I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back.
Okay.
It's great being here, driving through the main streets of Košice, Slovakia. I'm confused by the lack of old shirtless Slovak men walking around, and suddenly everyone, including myself, looks 20 pounds heavier. Some typical Slovak stores: Whole Foods Market and Bookman's. Very nice. What else here? Oh, it's the Tatra Mountains. Here's a typical Slovak street: Country Club. That dummy Roy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's great being here in Košice. And that's the 17th McDonald's I've seen today. Let's see what we now got on 22 ulici. We got the Walgreens, Taco Bell, Church's Chicken, and Slovak graffiti. We got Subway, CarMax, and Denny's America's Diner. I am very, very confused. At the drinking week pub beer, I saw University of Arizona in gigantic cactus.
Peter.
Um, Apparently I'm in a desert called Tucson, I think. I don't know.
Houston. And you're not in Košice anymore. Not in Europe either.
Shush, Roy.
Welcome to Study in Slovakia. Thank you, Peter, for such a long time, and you're back to our show. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure to have you.
yes.
And Peter, how about if we speak about the story, how we met and how we started this all study in Slovakia thing a year back? You remember those days?
Well, I have to give you. I think there's two different versions. I have to give you my version, and I like to hear your perspective.
Yeah. Okay, first I would be interested to listen to your version, and then I'll tell you my one.
All right. Well, like how I remember it is like I was just on Facebook, and then I was like very confused because it was like this random Indian guy just messages me out of the blue. Like when people message me, I was like, this is odd, but I was just typing, being polite. Because it was like I had no idea who you were at all, and you just started messaging me on Facebook.
You were
Uh,
like some scammer.
what?
You thought me to be some scammer. Your
Well,
bank account
not a
has been blocked.
scammer, but it's like I'm always like slightly skeptical. So it's just like when this person started randomly messaging me, I was like, "Who is this?" I can't actually say your first name still to this day. It's like something Roy.
Thanks, and Roy. No worries, you just call me Roy at school.
But I remember I was in town. I was supposed to go home, but like at the last minute, I impulsively decided to visit a friend. And then after visiting the friend, I was on one of those e-scooters, and as I was putting it away, then you're like, "Hey, it's me from Facebook." I was like, "Okay, are you stalking me?"
You were like, who is this guy? He first texts me and then finds me on street and is like, okay. Yeah, this story was the same for me as well because I mean, like, I searched for you because you were previously working on many YouTube channels and the editing and production and all. So actually, the owner of Study in Slovakia, he told me that you are the person who is expert with YouTube, have some fan following and all. So I was like, okay, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, like when you're in Košice, generally people, find you and they're like, okay, I know this guy. I have seen him somewhere in some videos or in some places. Yeah, so you're that famous type of a guy in Košice.
Which is I had no idea. Well, like the funniest thing about me being in Košice was like why I was so called YouTube famous.
Hmm.
I had previously appeared on this like Slovak comedian's video series called PPeter, and I appeared like 3 years ago. It was like years since I had really been on any videos. But I think he has a. I have to look it up. We'll have probably an icon pop up later, but he has at this point like hundreds of millions of subscribers. So like even in Košice, I would. It was weird because I'd have people stare at me, and I'm like, "Are you staring at me because of the show or because I'm a foreigner?" But I would have literally at least every couple months people come up to me because of PPeter.
It's interesting because when the owner of Study in Slovakia, he came to me, he was like, this is the guy who is in PPeter and the rest of the videos.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if you saw him on streets, you can tell, okay, this is that guy. But how
Yeah.
did you find him on Facebook? Did you use Google Lens or something? You were searching for him. Where is he from? What is his Facebook? So somehow, anyways, but we connected, and that's why I connected with you. I wanted to speak to you, and fortunately, we met that night and we started hanging out. It was fun, actually.
So you used me. You just wanted me for my fame.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
I knew it. I knew it. Like, I mean, a lot of people, they kind of wonder, it's like, well, how did it feel when you graduated? For me, I remember that feeling when I finally, because it was completely different because my final year was basically shot because of COVID.
Mhm.
And I did most of my state exams online, as a matter of fact. So it was, so I didn't go in person because of the pandemic. So I think a couple of them you could have went in person, but I eventually kind of liked doing the state exam at home. It was like, I'd rather just drink the coffee and be by myself instead of being nervous in front of a committee. It was just
Absolutely.
nice. It was nice to come from my home. But honestly, when I graduated, I wasn't like, hooray, or anything because I was just so tired and burnt out. My friends,
Mhm.
they're saying, hey, be happy, you should be excited. And I was just like, I'm so tired. I was happy for like a minute, and then I was like, my goodness, I'm so burnt out and tired because it was really like, I mean, I was already getting tired of medical school and everything, and then just to have it under COVID, I was so burnt out. I was just kind of relieved in a way. I'm more happier now, but that was my initial thing. I was just like, I want to sleep for like a year. So that's how I felt.
Understandable. Same for me because it was like so stressful. And then finally we finished it. I was like, damn, I want to go and sleep straight for 72 hours. Peter, what are your biggest regrets like after you completed your studies, you graduated and everything? Something you regret still?
Well, in terms of regrets, actually, when I think about it, I think back actually to what my older sister said. I remember my first year of medical school, she said, hey, just try not to get focused on trying to finish so much. Just try to enjoy the process.
Okay.
And I think honestly, I just focused on getting done. In my case, I mean, when I started school, I had a what? I mean, I still do. Had. Now I have a wife. I started off with a kid, and I had a second kid in school. So it was just like I was more intensely focused on just
Completely.
passing than other things. So not that I made it horrible, but I was like, I think at times I missed out on hanging out with people and other opportunities because I was just focused on finishing.
But Peter, this feeling of yours, like you just want to finish, this was for the last year or from the very beginning of the medical school?
I think I think it was more towards halfway, because it was like, I guess like
Mhm.
halfway, 3/4 of medical school. I was just more towards like definitely the last few years. I was starting to feel more burnt out. So
Okay.
definitely like the last couple of years in Košice, I was just pretty much getting sick of everything. So I was just like, just more.
When will it complete?
Yeah, more towards just trying to finish and everything. And I
Mhm.
wouldn't say necessarily it's a regret per se, but I mean, COVID, like how it affected a lot of people who were studying. I didn't get much of a chance to travel in Europe, and my plans were always, hey, I will graduate and then I will go travel for
Oh,
like 6 months or something like that. And that that clearly didn't work out. Like, in fact, I was supposed to even go to Britain in January 2020, and
mm. You told me, I remember.
yeah, I was trying to ask the teacher, hey, I was trying to switch groups to so I can go travel, but the teacher didn't let me, and I was so mad at the teacher at the time. But who knows? Maybe the teacher saved my life, or me getting sick because I was trying to go to Britain in January 2020. COVID
Hmm.
was already there at the time, so yeah. So who knows? But so I guess yeah, maybe just trying to get it over with. And I didn't get to really see that much of Europe. I went to a few of the neighboring countries, but I didn't get to travel as much as I would have liked. But that one I couldn't really control, is more COVID. So, but what about you? Anything you would have done
For
different in
me,
school?
I don't know. A little hard to say because I really don't have much regrets. I did almost everything after I came to Europe. So, yeah, really, I enjoyed a lot. So, if I had to pinpoint something, that would be like maybe more of research and industrial exposure that I wanted from my studies, let's say. And I wanted to be in the industry or do something with mechanical engineering because you know me, like I'm always into student organizations or some, I don't know, organization, business stuffs, or I don't know, IT things, or sometimes university projects, but never into like the mechanical industry, you know, like
Yeah.
you also haven't seen me over there. So maybe something like that, something with cars, automobiles would have been interesting. But because of that, maybe in last 3 years, I'm more interested towards business than in mechanical engineering. I graduated with mechanical, but I'm more interested towards business and entrepreneurship and these things. So yeah, that would be maybe a regret. And regret. Other than that, everything is cool for me. I think because I over here, I first time uh, went abroad. Let's say in Europe, because before that I went once in Thailand when I was a child, and it was my second time abroad. But yeah, for Europe, it was the first time towards the West. Moreover, I learned to live my life alone. You know, like make you do your own laundry, cook your own food, do everything by yourself.
Yes.
Then you know, like even yeah, even study, even perform well because I also could do some good projects here, like with my professors. Also, could publish journal under his supervision. So it was actually a great opportunity, in my opinion, and a great experience for me. Less regrets.
Well, hey, that's. I'm glad everything worked out pretty well for you in that department.
Yeah, but honestly speaking, the same regret as you have, Peter, with this, you know, like traveling. I had like because while I was studying, I was like always like I want to finish school first. I want to do things inside Koshitsa first, and then I'll travel. So
Mhm.
very few experiences of traveling. What I had was either with ESN or with some work. You know, I had to go to Bratislava for a visa, so I had to travel to Bratislava. But I
Yeah.
had to go to Vienna to go to Germany, so I had to go to Vienna, something like that. But it didn't travel. But this regret I'm just filling up currently. It's because I'm just traveling everywhere possible after graduation. So yeah, that's the thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what about you, Peter? Like, but what's the biggest thing like you will miss about Slovakia and your experience in Slovakia?
Some of the differences I'll definitely miss is like, I mean, in that part of the world, like how the neighborhoods are built, it's like built for walking. Like when you go downtown, it's nice.
Hmm.
There's no cars around, so you could just go walk around in the city. And like in Košice, you can still go hang out and walk around at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's
Uh,
true. It's
like
really safe though.
it's really really safe. Like I tell Americans who are shocked about that, it's like, the city is safe when you have like a drunk 19-year-old girl like wearing a short club skirt, and she's like
Mm.
walking in the street drunk 4 a.m. Not a care in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's actually the best part. That's actually the best part too.
yeah, So, I mean, I guess that should be the slogan for study in Slovakia. Drunk teenager girls walk around safe. As
Yeah, because I remember, Peter, before I came to Slovakia, because I was searching like how is the crime rates and all in Slovakia, and I saw the biggest crime in Slovakia for years have been only pickpocketing. I was like, dude, that's nothing. That's nothing.
yeah,
If
well,
there, yeah, like if there's some big crime, people speak about it for years, so it's like really safe over here.
yeah, no, it really is. So I missed that you can walk around safely. Yeah, but I guess it's just that, like, I guess the city, the community aspect where you could just, like, I met you randomly walking in town after
Yeah,
talking on Facebook, and then the public transport. So, like,
yeah,
they have buses, like, and stuff in the US, but it's not to the same extent. Like, drive, I mean, yeah, like how I say it, yes, in the winter, you want a car. Um, but I definitely like the reliability of the public transport. So
So actually, Peter, like, did you get those student discounts? What we get, like, like the ISIC discounts and free trains and those things? Uh, because you were above 26, right? So you couldn't get.
yeah, I started medical school at 26. So age
Okay.
discrimination, man, not cool.
Unfortunate. That's.
Yes.
Yeah, but for us students, it's really good because whether it's food, whether it's like public transport, whether it's anything, it's always discounted. Even we don't have to pay for, banks, like keeping the bank account. I think you have to, right? Yeah. That's so sad. But yeah, like that's really a good part about it,
Yeah.
actually, indeed. But yeah, personally, I love the experience in Slovakia and Europe in general. So like this land has been magical for me. So like honestly speaking, for the last 3 years, like there has been so many developments, so many opportunities, so many people to meet because I actually opened up to the world because I came here, because I joined ESN and several other organizations, because I studied in technical university. So it was a great experience. And that's the reason why I'm not planning to move anywhere from Slovakia for now. And what's your plan, Peter, for future?
Well, my plan is I'm mostly studying and trying to finish up so I can get into residency here in the United States because they have a very, you can ask most medical students, they have a very tough exam called the USMLE. So mostly I'm just trying to finish studying for that and then hopefully I will get into residency very soon. So
Mhm.
I'm
Good
medical
luck with
school
that.
is hard, but these board exams are harder. So, yes.
When I also studied my high school, I had option like if I want to go for medicine, engineering, or what, because I belonged to the science background. So I was like,
Yeah.
which one do I want to go? So I was like, okay, medicine is something I have to study for the rest of my life. I can't do that. Engineering is something in 3 years I'll finish off. It's better for me.
Yeah, I don't see math changing. I mean, the core concepts of engineering will still be relatively the same.
I mean, like, if with engineering, it's like this, like you study the core concepts in your university and whatever new technology and things are coming, you just get a certification or get some extra knowledge and that's enough.
Mm.
And that's cool enough. But with medicine,
Well, I'm trying to picture like if engineering was like medicine, like you would hear a study about how sine and cosine works better with men who are 18 to 65, but tangent increases the death rate in women from older women. That's like if engineering was like medicine. It's like, wait, what do you mean sine, cosine, and tangent are suddenly different? This makes no sense. Like, I mean, yeah, because that's what it is. At least engineering core concepts are the same, but even with medicine, I remember just even for so many years when they're saying, oh, to help prevent heart attacks, you take aspirin. And now there's recent studies saying there might be problems with aspirin. And so, like, always there's something in medicine.
yeah, yeah, like if we did medicine, it would be like, put some petrol in the engine, and the next year we are like, put some water in the engine. Let's start running.
Exactly. Like, what's going on? So yeah, like, I mean, medicine, you always have to, that's why you have to study, because it's changing constantly. Like, even with COVID, with the vaccinations, like, I mean, I even knew before, I believe it was the fastest a vaccine had been made, created to shot in the arm. I think it was mumps, which took like 3-4 years. So the fact that, so I was like, and then, so like, it blew my mind. It was like, okay, so the vaccine, it takes a few years to fully make it. And the fact that they made a vaccine in under a year, I was like, what's going on? So, I mean, the field, so like, for those who want to do medicine, you just have to keep up with that things are constantly, I mean, there's still some core aspects of science that are the same, like anatomy will relatively be the same, like how your body works will be the same, but the clinical aspect is just constantly changing.
Okay, Peter, it was great speaking to you after so long. Seriously.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll actually get to see each other in person, hopefully very, very soon. So
Yeah, it was great. Thank you, Peter, for coming. And thanks for all of you to watch this show. Hope you enjoyed it about our experience in Slovakia, studying here and everything. And also do contact us if you have any queries regarding studying in Slovakia, the paperworks, or visit us at www.studyinSlovakia.sk. Any questions you have, put it in the comment. And please give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Again, thanks for watching. See you soon.